right, everybody. Hey, how y'all doing? Um, Hope everything's going okay. I'm back, trying to get my other stuff going. Um, we are going to do a couple of things right now. A lot of different cooking. Welcome to Cooking by Martin. And we have a whole bunch of things to show you since we last were streaming. I'm going to actually go show you the first pie that we had. Let me see, phone view. So I have to, because there's so much going on, as you can see, I've already set up for the other pies that are in the oven and other things that I'm baking coming in. There's Simba. Hi, Simba. He's my big black cat. He wants his lovin'. Okay, here you go. Yeah, there you go. I can't believe you wanted to actually be loved by me right now. Anyway, that's kind of where we're at. Uh, with the first pie came out, and I had to made two more, which as you can see are in the oven. And actually at the bottom I have some poblano peppers roasting. What we're gonna make now, uh, sorry, I was thinking I was on the phone view. There we go. Phone. There we go. So here we go. You can see the other two uh, pies. They're almost done. And we're getting close to our poblano peppers mixture being done. We have our cranberry sauce, homemade, rum infused. So cranberry sauce, we'll talk about how that works as I'm chopping up the vegetables. We are, we are getting quite done. Um, with a lot of things, and so getting ready to mark certain things off the list. So as you can see, here's the list of where we are. We already have the apple pies and cranberry sauce is done, so we can mark that done. We're working on the Bolognese sauce and we'll make the cookie while the cookie cake and the pineapple upside down cake while that is working. Actually, this is the prep for the cookie cake right now. Yes, it has half a bag of M&Ms, actually three-quarters of a bag of M&Ms. Oh yeah, to become later. So I'm gonna put my portable camera down. Uh, we have a whole bunch of things going on. And let me see if I can see you all right now. Uh, Strange things are happening. There we go. Trying to make sure I can see y'all's chats. Um, and there we go. All right, just kind of looking to the left. Let's see, I'm going to minimize that so I can go down there and good. Because I usually can't see things in the Facebook chat. All right, so where are we? We are here. Um, we are here about to get all our ingredients ready for making our Bolognese sauce. And as you can see right here, I have carrots and celery, uh, basically small chop. I have an onion that I've already done inside of my machine, and I'm actually going to do the second onion. I'm going to rough chop it because I want a slightly different textures. Inside of the food processor, I have onion with garlic that's ready to go. And here I'm slicing onion, just kind of very rough chop. Um, when you do this, this is called you have onion, celery, and uh, carrots. That's called a mirepoix. It's a French word. That's sort of a very base of a lot of French cooking. So we're going to start our Bolognese sauce Italian with a mirepoix. Um, and then the next thing I'm going to add is, it's actually not necessary, but I actually have a leek that's starting to spoil in my house. So this is a leek. If you want to see in the big cam, this is what a leek looks like. Very long things, and so we're actually going to add the leek in there. And so a lot of people don't know how to clean these. The way you work it is you take the leek, take off the long stems that are green, and so you have this flesh, and then what you're going to do is you're going to cut it in the middle, bisect it, turn it 90 degrees, cut it again, so you have quarters all the way through. And then you're going to run this, now that it's like this, you're going to run this through cold water, not warm, but cold water. You don't want it to wilt. There you go. And that will get all the dirt out of the in-between of the leaves, because as you know, a leek is a root crop. Um, you actually, the green stuff stays above the ground, but this part of it is way underground. So you have that. We're just going to chop this into small pieces. And then we are ready to start making our Bolognese sauce. So Bolognese has meat, and I love my pasta sauce with meat. Um, While we're doing this, I'll talk about how I made the cranberry sauce. Cranberry sauce, you take a bag of cranberries. You almost add equal parts of sugar. I actually like to turn it up a little bit because I add about 3/4 cups of honey into it. You will add 2 cinnamon sticks, whole, not ground cinnamon, whole cinnamon sticks, which will also be in our Bolognese sauce. Um, and then you put it in the and you need to add a liquid. When you are making bolognese, I'm sorry, cranberry sauce, the heat causes the cranberries to explode and they release a pectin. And the pectin interacts with sugar and that's what causes the thickening agent in the cranberry sauce. So it's that reaction between the pectins inside of the cranberries and the sugar molecule, and that's what causes that thickening agent to happen. And so once you do that, you pretty much add sugar until it tastes good because you actually need a lot more sugar than you think because cranberries are very bitter. If you like your sauce less sweet, go ahead. And then the cinnamon stick will add flavor, and you actually need to let it sit inside as it cools. So where we are now is we're about to start a bolognese sauce. A bolognese sauce has, I do it with 3 meats. So we have several things. So we have ground beef here, whatever kind you have, ground pork, and Italian sausage. That's this. Oh goodness, just dropped it. This is from HEB. So unopened. Bring it out so it's at room temperature so that when we're cooking, it's in there. You're going to need some wine. You're going to need a couple of other things. So let us do this. So we are ready. We've got our software done. So we're going to begin. And so for this, I'm going to see if I can move the cam so that it is underneath. All right, so y'all don't get some vertigo. Actually, I'm not sharing that view. I'm hoping that this works the way I'm hoping it works. So let's look at the close-up view only. Oh, that worked perfectly. So now you guys can see my pan. So what to that, we are going to do a couple of things. We're going to add extra virgin olive oil, like 7 glugs. I'm making a big, because I told you guys yesterday cooking for at least about 20 people. In fact, I need more olive oil than that. Turn your fire up to hot. And so as you can see, I have an 1800 BTU burner. It's huge. I don't know if that's how many BTUs. I'm just going to add a little bit more olive oil. There's no difference between these two containers. I use so much olive oil, I need 2 things at hand when I'm cooking. That way I don't run out. So you're going to let this heat up, and we start by cooking the leeks first. And I'm going to move over here. I'm going to move that down. Let me see what happens when I do both views. Hopefully see what happens with these 2 views. Oh, that works out nice. You can see both things, but we're just going to do the close-up only. So I just need to adjust my other camera. But yeah, what we're going to do is we're going to wait for this to heat up a little bit, get my trusty dandy awesomeness spoon because we're going to be going crazy. All right, now it's hot. I hope you guys don't get annoyed by the noise, but I'm going to turn on my fan vent. We're going to put our leeks first. Leeks are the hardest version of this, so we're going to start with them. Into the fire. Yeah, so into the fire first. And so I'm going to be doing that. And oh, stuff flashed on the side. I don't think. Hi, Alex. Merry Christmas. It's great to see you again. Hope you're doing okay over there in the awesome tundra that is Oregon. I'm teasing. It's not a tundra. It's actually very beautiful. I miss Portland. So we're going to start by, uh, again, we're going to just cook this for about 2-3 minutes. Never add garlic first. Garlic burns, so garlic needs to go with onions or something like that. Or if you're going to do it, then you're going to add your liquid or something else quickly. Because you don't, garlic doing that is bad eats. You don't want that. Um, the Alton Brown gods would just frown upon you greatly. And so, all right, there we go. And it is going, going, going. While we're doing that, let me see if you guys can see what it looks like down here. Our pie's almost done, and it looks like our peppers are done. So we are gonna go down. Uh-oh, my phone is not working. Let us fix that. There we go. Sorry about that. Phone view wasn't working. I actually clicked the button to turn it off. There we go. So I hope you guys can see this. Yep, here we go. These are poblano peppers that I have roasted. The skin falls off. They are perfect. And what we're going to do is we're going to blend them after they cool off. So we're just going to leave them right here. So now we're going to check our pie. Here it is done. So when you see the pie start doing that gooey thing, that means it's done. But I'm actually going to, I want it to brown a little bit. So we're going to flip these. See, like this has, ooh, whoa, the right color. So I'm going to put that in the middle. And I'm going to put this one at the top because I just want it to brown just a little bit more at the top in there. So there we go. So that's just going to be cooking while we're there. And I'm going to switch back here. So we now can add our onions. I'm going to start with the onions with garlic, which was what was in my food processor. As I said, we're making a very good, cool Italian Bolognese sauce. It's usually deadly. No, it's not. I've never killed anybody with my food, at least not till I know it. But those of you who came to my wedding, you'll remember this because I catered my own wedding, and I made this same sauce. I adapted this from a recipe combining Giada de Ranches and the other Italian chef. She's the smaller chef. And there's a taller, sort of more stout chef, the lady Ina Garten, I think is her name. They have two recipes, and I sort of combined them and made them my own. So add all our onions in here together. Yeah, I used a very large onion because I'm making about all the way up to here of Bolognese sauce. Yep. Anybody have any questions? I would love to hear from any of you who have any questions. Um, awesome sauce. I hope there is. I'm going to make sure that all my cameras are off. Yep, it's only me. And so, yep, we're just here chilling. Just chilling. While that's going on here, I'm just going to make sure my wine is open. Yes, we will deglaze a little bit with wine before we add our mushrooms, because we have a lot of mushrooms to add. So I have sliced mushrooms here, which these came from Food Town. These are the leftover pieces from preparing for the stuffed mushrooms, which will be done tomorrow. Make sure you're always wearing protective uh, gloves. There we go. All right. Now you need about 2-3 minutes for the onions to start turning color. As you can see, they're turning a little bit brown inside. So that means it's time to add your rest of your mirepoix. So that is your celery. That is your carrots. And that's going to make some liquid. That's good stuff. So this is a great mirepoix. Although traditional mirepoix doesn't have garlic, and I do not believe there's such a thing as Italian sauce that doesn't have garlic in it. That's personal preference. That's just dude, you gotta have garlic. It's like another food group. You gotta have it. It's crazy. Um, I'd like to see if we, while I'm talking to you guys before I go to church this evening, going to midnight service, if we get to the part of making the paella. I might not be able to do that with you guys here, but I'm hoping you can. Um, but yeah, it's all good. And yep, uh, there we go. And we're just waiting for things to continue cooking. Yeah, so at this point, as it's cooking, we're going to add our salt and our black pepper. Where are you hiding? There you go. You should start with the black pepper. Oh, come on. It's really annoying. And sorry, there's some weird computer sounds going on. All right, we're going to add a little bit of salt. We'll add more salt later. You just want to start. That's going to cause the meat to start to sweat. And I actually like to mix it up with a little bit of salt and seasoned salt. Seasoned salt has some good flavors. You just have to be careful with it. And yep, so you want all the vegetables to sweat. hmm Yeah, yeah, baby. Hold on. Hope that view works a little bit better. There we go. Let's see if we can adjust that camera as it started coming down. There we go. Oh, oh no. Let's fix that. I knew moving this would be weird. There we go. Awesome sauce. Yep. All right. Now when you start getting to this point that the meat is almost, the veggies are almost done, it is time to add your meats. So I like to start with the sausage because it's the fattiest, typically. Um, I like to use sweet Italian sausage. I couldn't find that, so I got regular Italian sausage. Um, they normally have it. It's just, this is a pandemic, whatever this period is called, era, and so I mean they sell it. It's just they just happened to be out of it when I was shopping for it, and I didn't feel like going to another grocery store to find it. I just opted for the regular Italian sausage from HEB. So you're just going to put that right there into your mirepoix and break it up. And if you got one of those uh, meat things for hamburger helper, in fact, I'm going to use it. You can use it to cut this down, and you're gonna be like, well, these are big chunks. Oh yeah, because they're gonna break down. They're gonna release their liquid and break down. Just start adding them in rapid succession. Like I said, I normally like to add sausage first because it's the fattiest. Then I'm gonna add this. This is not the best cut of ground beef, so again, it's ground beef, pork, and sausage. You can choose whatever sausage you want. I think Italian sausage, since I'm making something Italian, is there. This is a fatty piece uh, of ground beef. This one is 73.23, so it's going to make a lot of fat. I didn't really want this, but at the time when I went there, it was 3x the price for regular 80/20. It was kind of ridiculous. So I was like, you know what? Y'all get it. Y'all get over it. And I'm talking to y'all who are coming over here. I think you'll love it anyway. It's going to be a little fattier. And it's the holidays. We gained a couple of pounds anyway. There we go. It's mixing rather nicely. And so at this point I decide whether or not I'm going to add the second. Usually it's 2 pounds of beef, 1 pound of sausage, and 1 pound of pork. And I don't know, I'm going to eye it. So this is the ground pork that we're adding. You could also use ground turkey in this recipe. I've done that several times. That works. In place of beef, that is a substitute for the beef, not a substitute for the pork. You really need to have ground pork if you can. It tastes so much better. But you can use ground turkey instead of beef if you so choose. And yep, we are going to add that last thing of beef right now. So we're going to make it a full 2 pounds. There we go. This is my giant stew pot. I'm making ginormous things when I'm cooking. It'll be served tomorrow in something else, but it's easier to cook in this because when I'm cooking for a lot of people, this just works out really much better. And how intriguing. Oh, thanks, Alex. Yeah, paella bolognese and stuffed mushrooms. Oh, no, no, there's more to it than that. I guess you didn't see the last stream. I'm just kind of getting back here and looking at some of the questions. And so what I'm going to do in a quick second is I'm going to show everybody again what we're making. Because it's a lot more than that. We have turkey, we got ham, we have stuffed mushrooms, we have artichoke dip. There's all kinds of stuff coming. Some of these are tomorrow's, like today, we're doing some of this today. So, there we go. Meat. See, I didn't have to bring the little torture device for the meat. You're like, what's the torture device for the meat? It's this thing. Very good for when you have hamburger helper and breaking meat apart. But because we're cooking so much of this, it's going to cook for a long time, especially in liquid. It always just breaks up. So you don't usually have to use it to bring it out. Yeah, I can smell the meat. All right. So it is at this point, when right before all the meat is done, we add something that is very unconventional to the sauce. You're gonna wonder, and that is milk, fatty milk. So just a little bit dollop of regular milk, because that actually softens the meat. I know. Where what I added was a quarter cup. And then we're going to somewhat deglaze, but it's not really. We're going to cook the meat remaining in here in wine. There we go. So we're going to let that cook just a little bit for a second. And I'm going to go check my pies. Yep, that top pie is ready to go. All right, how are we going to do this so I can show you guys what's going on? Let's see if we can work this with my dominant hand. And we are going to do the phone view. All right, let's see if this is gonna work. You guys can see. All right, here's my pies. This one is donezo. Look at that. Yeah, it's perfect. So we're gonna take it over here where I have our trivet already ready for our dessert table. Oh yeah, Brian did a really good job on the tree. Oh, sorry, I forgot this doesn't rotate. He did a really good job. We're still wrapping presents. But yeah, he puts the stockings and all the decorations. He's going to serve us because he's Santa Claus. So I'm gonna bring the first pie out, and I'm gonna check. Now we're gonna go check on the second pie. Here's our Bolognese sauce as it's going. Um, it's just gonna sit there for a little bit. This is not done, but we're gonna move it to the top shelf and close the oven. Looks like our poblano peppers are really good, and our sauce here, this is our cranberry sauce, is quite donezo. I took it off the flame and just let it. I want it to cool just a little bit. You don't want to cool too much, otherwise you can't get it out of the container. But it's too hot to put in. It'll melt the plastic container I'm going to keep it in. So, all right, now to switch up, back up, and put our portable camera down. Whilst we kind of, oh. I'll take that portable camera back up. Sorry, I forgot something. I told you guys. Um, I would tell, so Alex, and this is where we are today. This is today's the prep list, and we're working on the bolognese. We got a pineapple upside down cake and an M&M cookie cake to make, and then we're gonna make some fresh sangria. I'll do that right before I go to bed, probably not on the show. Then all the pinks represent prep, so for the turkey broth and stuff like that. So it's chopping vegetables like crazy or fruits, like for the hibiscus tea and the boiling eggs for the Scotch eggs. But then after that, we have go here. Here's the main. This is the main stuff. So we have broth. We have hot apple cider. We have collard greens, ham, barbecue meatballs, baked brie. We're frying a turkey. I should move that so it's easier to see. I will be referring to this a lot tomorrow, and I'll probably be moving this around when you get off schedule. That's why these are on sticky notes. Spanish paella we're actually going to do today, so that's actually going to move to the other side, and vegetables to finish that off. And so this is the Christmas list for those of you wondering, and you know it's a lot of stuff. It's about going to be 14 to 15 hours of cooking, and I think those who come by appreciate it. Oh, you're welcome, Alex. I love it. Uh, and so, anyway, let's get back to our. Uh, my switcher's being weird. There we go. Oh yeah, there we go. Milk is reducing a lot. Perfect. So now it is time for the Julia Child effect. We're going to throw in wine. This is Moscato. Any white wine or red wine will do. Preferably, it needs to be a lighter wine, dry, lighter wine, and preferably sweet. So, like a Riesling will work. A Pinot Grigio. Do not use a Merlot in sauce. It's too deep. Merlots are better for baking beef, like a beef bourguignon or beef stew. And so we're going to add that in here. And then we're going to toss a butt ton. That is a unit of measurement. A butt ton of basil into this. We're not kidding. This is like about 3/4 cup. I am not kidding. Butt ton uh, is a unit of measure. Yeah, 3/4 cup of basil. I'm not kidding. In fact, that's not enough. I got to go back and add more. And then to this, once it's at this level, we want the liquid to reduce. So one of the best ways of reducing liquid, haha, mushrooms. This is when we add our mushrooms in. So we're going to add all the mushrooms in. If you don't like mushrooms, you don't have to add mushrooms in. I love mushrooms, so we have another bag of mushrooms. Mushrooms absorb liquid and bring that flavor to the taste buds. And believe it or not, I actually need more wine. And there we go. There we go. And we're gonna add our last thing of mushrooms. It's in a square container. I gotta cut open. There we go. And so it is also at this point we add three sticks of cinnamon. Yes. Oh yes, cinnamon in sauce. Yes. So we are going to add 3 sticks of cinnamon and make sure they stay at the bottom of the liquid. You want that cinnamon flavor infusing through your sauce, and you're like, cinnamon in sauce? Trust me, it's the thing that you've never seen, and it's a flavor that is like wow. Everybody who's had my sauce is like, what is that? It's not like an apple pie. It actually adds this amazing richness to your sauce. We will add a little bit of brown sugar, but that's after we add the tomatoes. We get ready to do that. So I'm gonna just toss some things into the trash. I'm gonna remove my attempt to remove my, oh, is that how you do it? That's armband. There we go. So that's also going. We would like to add about 7 or 8, because it's a big sauce, 7 or 8 bay leaves. Usually toss them in like that. And yeah, we just fish them out, but that's important for the sauce, the flavor of the sauce. Add just a little bit of thyme. Not too much thyme. Thyme is better for other things, but thyme isn't bad in the sauce. It's just not great in the sauce. It's just a little bit of that. And I normally add Italian seasoning. I don't like to add oregano directly because you don't want too much of that. But I do Italian seasoning because that will have basil and stuff like that in there. You want just a little bit. You want oregano is important in a pizza sauce. You need that flavor. And in a Bolognese, you don't want too much of it. So let's put this. Let's try to get your bay leaves like the cinnamon down to the bottom because you want it boiling in the sauce at this stage. All right. While this is going, we're going to start working our poblano peppers. And see if we can turn our camera the way that needs to be. There we go. So now that the poblano peppers are there, I know it's going to look a little gross, but the skin just falls off, and that's what we want. We want to peel off the skin, the wispy part of the skin, and you can take the seeds out. And I actually wash the seeds in the sink, but you just want that skin off as much as possible. And these cook just a little too much. Skins are being a little tougher to remove. So we're just removing that poblano pepper seeds. Seeds go into the garbage. Seeds, things like this, we're going to wash that off. It's easier. Off the meat, just wash it off that way. Okay. So just put them to the side because what we're going to do is we're going to blend them. I usually use tomatoes and tomato paste as a thickener for my sauce. So I like to use the sweetened tomatoes. And so when I start blending those in my blender, I will toss these poblano peppers. And the idea of poblano peppers is they're not hot. They add an element of heat and just rich flavor. If you've ever roasted poblano peppers and put them in the soup, good stuff. So that's the first one. I'm gonna stir. Yeah, oh yeah. We're gonna add a little bit more basil, but probably when we add our tomatoes because we're gonna taste it. All right, so here's the second one. Oh, there's a couple seeds here that just started to cling on. There we go. There's nothing wrong with the seeds. I just, poblano pepper is not that hot. It's not like a habanero, which is just death hot. I don't like food hot, or a jolokia, which is the ghost pepper. Um, no, this is the very light heat. For those of you who ever wondered, peppers are measured in something called Scovilles. That's their unit of heat. And so uh, a green pepper is 0. A poblano pepper is about 1,000 Scovilles. A jalapeno is about 3 to 4,000 Scovilles. A habanero pepper is 300,000 Scovilles. Same as a chai chili pepper. The boot jolokia, which is the formal name of the ghost pepper, you may have heard that. Ghost peppers are 1.7 million Scovilles. Yeah. Do not ask how I know all of that. That's because I love to watch a lot of Science Channel. And there was a whole thing on peppers. No, it was on the Food Chat Network. It was actually on Science Channel a long time ago. And I was like, I watched that over and over again. Yep, we're just peeling all the flesh off of the skins of the, yeah, here we go. Perfect. So now we have, like, I know it looks kind of gross, but it's a mass of goodness. I'm telling you, it tastes delicious. We're gonna take that out of the way for a second. Um, Wipe the counter. And what we're gonna do is I'm gonna bring in the, if you take poblanos out of the oven, immediately put them in a plastic bag and close it up and leave them to steam for, it peels off much easier. Huh, Alex, I have never tried that. I am gonna try that again. That is a cool idea. I have never tried that before. Um, yeah. It's a cool idea. So I'm stirring. I know you can't see because I can't move my camera. It's otherwise it's going to fall off. But I'm just stirring the sauce. You want the liquids to reduce a lot, so that's why you just put it on high heat, medium high preferably, not too high. And I'm getting my blender because we're going to blend the tomatoes. I use petite diced tomatoes. I will use a mix of blended stuff and non-blended stuff. You can use tomato sauce, but tomato sauce has too much liquid that I can't control and can get too thick. So I prefer controlling my sauce. So I'm going to get a couple of cans of sweet onion. I need about 6 cans, and they're on the other side of my kitchen, so I'll be back. Got 5 cans in my hand now, and I'm going to need some tomato paste. So this is what I have. I get these from the HEB. And so into the blender. I don't know if you guys can see that. Let me see if I can move the camera up. Uh, Camera's being weird. There we go. Now you're seeing more me. There we go. Something like that. Into the bottom of the blender we go. We put all of our poblanos. And then, oh yeah, and unplug that. We're gonna plug in our can opener that's behind the camera and open cans of this. Oh, how interesting. That power cord from my camera got tangled. All right, there we go. We're just getting this first batch ready. I'm gonna put as many cans as it takes to fill the top of this. And I might empty that in there. Should be about at least 3 or 4 cans. Because I like my sauce a little chunky and liquid. So I like little chunks of tomato combined with a lot of liquid in there. You could just put um, these petite diced tomatoes directly in, and that would actually be fine if you want a fully chunky sauce. And some, to each his own how they like their sauce. I like my sauces a little bit sweet and savory, so I do add brown sugar to it. There we go. So we are full. Time to plug you in. There you go. You don't need a full puree. Yep, that's the goodness you're looking for. Hope you can see that better in the camera. And so we're going to go back to our view. So we're not going to add this yet because we need the liquid to reduce a lot. So we're just going to kind of keep stirring. Want this liquid to reduce by half. And notice I'm pushing the cinnamon sticks down into the bottom because they like to float to the top, as well as the bay leaves. Get them down there. Did I add all my tomatoes? I feel like oh, I did not add all my tomatoes. I was like, something was wrong because it didn't look like there were, I'm sorry, not tomatoes, all my mushrooms. Oh, the good thing is mushrooms, you can add them late. They will absorb everything. I love getting these from Food Town because they're already sliced perfectly. I don't have to do them. They're really cheap at Food Town. They're just perfectly sliced. Look at these. I love it. Don't have to do a thing. Perfect. And yeah, you're like, oh, that's late. No, this sauce is going to cook for a long time. So there's plenty of time for it to absorb stuff. And by the way, this is a good time to taste your meat seasonings and just see where we are. Mm. Oh yeah, could use a little salt. You see, you can always add salt, you can't take it away. And of course, I told you guys, lots of basil. What's the unit? A butt ton. And so that wasn't enough the first time. We're gonna add at least a quarter cup now. And we may add more. Oh yes, the secret to good Bolognese sauce is basil. So get a giant container of it, preferably from Sam's. You're gonna use it. I guarantee, as my friends from New Orleans say. There you go. Let's see. Uh, while that's cooking, what else do I have here? Um, I love that comment. And so, woohoo. We're just gonna kind of keep that going, and while that's going, I'm gonna throw away a lot of waste here. Oh, ooh, almost forgot. I got a pie in the oven. It is done. So, camera time. All right, it is camera time. Y'all seeing what my phone sees? There we go. Oh, my camera did something weird. There we go. All right. So how did I do this? Yeah, my dominant hand and camera in the left. All right. Pie is done. Uh-huh. Look at that gorgeousness. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. Well, it's the third pie. So Lauren, if you're watching, yes, I caved and I made 3 pies. So these pies need to cool for at least an hour. And so, yep, they're all there, and then I'm gonna fold them in tomorrow and stuff. And still, seriously, look at that tree. I love that what Brian did. You guys should see the outside. It's like something out of the Griswolds. Yeah, I still have wrapping paper out here because we are wrapping all this stuff for tomorrow. So anyway, we are done there. Just another view of our sauce as it's cooking. We would like to have, this is a different view shot with our other camera. See the the cinnamon sticks as it likes to come out. Like I said, pushing down, including those bay leaves. As you can see, mushrooms are cooking quite nicely in here. Awesome. Alrighty. Let's see. We're going to go back to that view. I'm gonna put my portable camera down. Uh, so, what y'all doing? What y'all doing this evening? Uh, yeah, I took my Santa hat off from earlier. It just gets hot. Uh-huh. Just gonna keep that out of the way because we have cakes and pies and things to make. Oh my. Gonna turn my oven off. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3. I need to get another set of cans of tomatoes so that we are on the ready. And woohoo. Exactly. I'm just looking what y'all are saying. Yeah, increase that heat just a little bit because I don't want to wait here forever. It's already 8 o'clock. We got things to do, stuff to make. I got stuff to make. hmm And so why are we making a Bolognese sauce? Well, part of that is because Santa, aka me, bought me a Christmas present. It is a fresh pasta maker. I'm so excited about using that. So figured we're gonna have some fresh pasta. I'll do that later tonight because I don't know how to use the machine. So I'm gonna kind of look at it. It doesn't look too complicated, but we are gonna have some fresh pasta. We'll pre-make that way tomorrow. You just boil it and the sauce is ready to go. You know it. Awesome sauce. All right. So I went in here for a second and forgot what I was doing. This is called getting old. My friends, I'm warning y'all, seriously, do not get old. It sucks not remembering stuff. Ugh. I'm telling you, young whippersnappers don't know what you have. Let's see. I am looking for a container, and I think Brian has hidden my containers. All right, we will put up the cranberry sauce later. I'm just gonna leave it on warm so that it doesn't congeal too much. Um, oh yeah, we're getting there. We are almost there, actually. Where is the thing that I am looking for? I am looking for something. Ah, it isn't here. It is in my pantry. We're getting ready. I'm trying to get the next set of things ready. And what I need is tomato paste. And I'm going to need the type of tomato paste. Yes. Here we go. That's the thicken. It will thicken the sauce, but I might need a larger industrial size can of tomato paste, depending on how thin the sauce. Okay, we are getting there. Yep. Yeah. So there is almost no liquid in this. It's not almost. You just want it to a point where you can you can switching to the phone view, so it's just a little easier for you guys to see how much. So it looks like there's a lot of liquid, but the key is to move it sideways and see, and that's mostly oil. See, when to go here, there's not much liquid. So we're almost there. We want not much liquid because there's a lot of liquid from the tomatoes. Some of the recipes call for you to drain your tomatoes if you're using fresh ones. I don't like that. I actually think because you're losing flavor. Flavor is not important. Flavor is actually incredibly important. Not that it's not important. So it's not important to drain it because guess what? We can evaporate it. This is the draining baby. So that's what we're gonna do. And so that's how we're gonna run this. Um, yes, Lauren, 3 pies. Um, y'all and your peer pressure. I blame you. If I wake up with a broken back making y'all's pies, it's all y'all's fault. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Oh yeah. Mhm. Oh yeah, Bolognese. We are going. Let's see. Oh yeah, we are ready. So at this point, one of the things I like to do before is to give it a little taste, just to see how the meat is, if it's salted. You're still going to taste, you're going to taste it at multiple points. You just don't want to go too much salt. It's hard to remove salt after you've added. There is a way, use dried onions. You just don't want to go there if you don't have to. Oh my God, that flavor. Yes. And it's still going to need more basil. All right, we're adding our mix of tomatoes. And I know that the blender is plucking away, but it doesn't feel like anything happened to the sauce when I added the tomatoes because it's not enough tomatoes. So, time to blend 2 more cans, and then we're going to add 2 cans whole, but as they are. Gotta plug things in. Uh-oh. There we go. So we're going to blend 2 more, maybe 3 cans. I'm going to see how this looks. Um, yeah, actually we're going to blend 3 cans and then put maybe an additional, because this is a lot of sauce, so. And to this set of blending, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of brown sugar. So it's blended into tomatoes. It's going to add a light sweetness to your savory, because I like a sauce a little bit sweet. So I'm just going to get my brown sugar. Don't add white sugar. You want the earthy feel of brown sugar in it. There we go. Just a little bit of that. Into the sauce it goes, and then, because you can always add more sugar later into the sauce as it goes, and we're going to add that last can into the blender. And away we go. All right, fun view. All right, so that's what we have here. And into the sauce we go. There we go. Now it's starting to turn red, and it's full of life and vim and vigor. We're still not done. We're going to add 1 can. I'm going to switch cameras so I have a hand again. I'm going to add an additional 1 can. Now that I'm done with the blender, I'm going to get it out of the way because I don't need it again, at least not tonight. We're going to go 1 more can of tomatoes, and then we're going to add a can of paste. And this one I'm adding whole, petite dice. You don't want normal dice. You always want to use petite dice. That way if you want to do this chunky and smooth thing that I'm trying to do, you can. You do not want normal diced tomatoes. You want it to say petite diced. Like it says here, petite, because you want it small. You do not want the normal diced, because those chunks are too big. All right. Now that we have this looking like this, I'll switch to the other view that makes it a little easier to see what's going on. It's time to add our tomato paste. I'm using this version. It's hard to find now. This from Contadina because I like it because it has roasted garlic. Because I've always said there's no such thing as too much garlic. Really, no such thing as too much garlic. Sorry, I'm built that way. So even though there was garlic in the onion mix, we're gonna add that. So you just want to add this to your sauce, and it will break down. So because we're gonna boil this for a long time, the sauce is gonna cook for a while. As it gets done, because we're gonna cook it until the tomatoes are done. As it's cooking, it will break down these pieces of the sauce because that's why you're seeing chunks going in here. So don't worry about it. Get every little bit of that goodness out. There we go. And as the German says, das ist good. A language lesson for everybody. There we go. Let's get that camera view so it's a little easier to see. There we go. This is our sauce. This is our Bolognese. And so this is going to simmer. And we're probably going to add just a little bit more basil. I told you, butt ton of basil. That's the key to Bolognese. We'll test it for its sweetness in a second. But it just needs to cook. And you need to reduce your heat because as you can see, I have this on like nearly nuclear. You can see my flame. It's kind of nearly nuclear. So we're going to turn that down at this point because we want it to simmer for a while. And at this point, we are going to cover it. And finito. We have made a spaghetti bowl. Well, it's not the spaghetti piece, but the bolognese sauce that goes with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was kind of fun. And so I get to mark another thing off of my list because, yeah, it's not fully done, but it's essentially done. So those of you online, we have to make two desserts. Which do you guys want first? The M&M cookie or the pineapple upside down cake? Your decision. You guys decide. I'm waiting for comments in the chat. So I'm looking and I'm looking. So or I could just go cold turkey and just decide I don't do anything until y'all say something. I'm just saying. I'm gonna throw away some of these cans and clean up a little bit. To have half cans and stuff all over here. So it's time to clean up a little bit. We'll leave the sugar here because we need that. Heading to your friends tonight. Thankfully, it finally thawed for driving. Oh my gosh. Pineapple upside down cake. All right. The vote is in. We're going to go do it. All right. Give me just a second to get some of these dishes and things out of the way. And we will start that. Toss all these little, oh goodness, why did come out of here? Goodness. That sharp metal top, a couple of them just kind of fell into the sink instead of going into the bag. Shameful. Gravity, you are not my friend today. All right. Okay. Yeah. So I see somebody's making rum bananas. Oh, okay. Am I gonna get some of those nanas? Because, you know, Lauren, those aren't my nanas, they're your nanas. I thought that was the funniest name. She, my friend Lauren has gotten a new toy. It's the thing called Yonanas. You're like, what is a Yonanas? It's sort of an ice cream, sort of sherbet kind of maker thing. I don't even know how to describe the damn thing. And so my only demand was I get to have some of Yonanas. I thought the name of Yonanas as the name of the product is. I don't know why that tickles me so much, but it really does. You can get them at Sam's. They're on sale. They're still on, probably still on sale. Even all the stores are closed. It's right now a little after 8 o'clock here in Texas. So I think HEB was like the last holdout of grocery stores. They closed at 8 o'clock today. So they just closed. Most closed stores closed at 5 or 6 o'clock. You know how it is. So you gotta get all that shopping done. Otherwise, it's Monday. So yeah, we're just gonna get a couple of things cleared out because we need like that we need that bowl there, amongst other things. And then we will start with the pineapple upside down cake. So pineapple upside down cake is a very interesting dessert because you do make it kind of backwards. You start with the top and then work your way down, which is the bottom, the actual cake. So it's kind of a fascinating uh, dish. I haven't made it in a long time, but pineapples were on sale, and I'm like, okay. I needed another dessert because I got over 20 people coming tomorrow, and I was like, yeah, why not? One of those perfect things to make ahead so it's out of the way because, on the big day, be it Thanksgiving or Christmas, there's a lot of stuff in contention for the stove and the oven. You don't want things like this that can go the day before, like all desserts. So I always make my desserts the day before, unless they have to be made on the day of. And typically, if that's the case, it is not on the menu because I don't have the room or the time to deal with that. So, yeah, it is just kind of the way it is. Um, and just looking at the chat. But yeah, you start off with the recipe calls for if there's a Betty Crocker sells a pineapple upside down mix, and I cannot find it. Um, it was there and then it kind of disappeared in my grocery stores, and so I went and got the no name brand pineapple mix because I remember the recipe quite well. Um, if you get the pineapple supreme from Betty Crocker, it actually has the full recipe for pineapple upside down cake. And since it's Betty Crocker, you can look it up. If you just type Betty Crocker pineapple upside down cake, I think it's Betty Crocker and not Duncan Hines. You should see the recipe, but you'll follow. It's actually very easy. It's decadent, and it's much easier than it looks. All right, there we go. All righty, we're just gonna quickly take a look at our sauce and where it is at. Let's see. Oh, it's doing beautiful. Oh, it's beautiful. You gotta stir it periodically, and you gotta make sure you push down those cinnamon sticks. Key thing, pushing them cinnamon sticks down. If you notice your sauce isn't thick enough, you can add another can of. I'm debating on whether I add another can of tomato paste because that's my thickening agent. All right, now we just need a paper towel. Wipe the counter clean. Oh, good. My saffron is infusing. Saffron, you say? Saffron? Why? Because we're making a Spanish paella. And so I have this happening here. This is saffron in hot water, distilling its liquid. That is for later. Yes, das is good. Tis good. I'm gonna plug my camera back in. All right, all right. Now that we're there, let us make some paella. I'm sorry, let's make some pineapple upside down cake. So we're we're going to need a couple of things. So we begin with hardware and software. So we're going to begin with 2 cans of sliced pineapple. Pineapple must be in juice and not syrup. What did I say? Juice and not syrup. And we are going to separate the juice. So this is a can of Dole pineapple. You are going to need butter. You are going to need a 13 by 9 by 2 baking pan. That's the thing I'm getting right now, because that's where it begins. All right. And so, how do I do this? Let's see. Can I move my camera so that it is facing down? All right, let's see what that looks like. Okay, that works a little bit. Let's do that. There we go. So we begin to make pineapple upside down cake. You need about a stick and a half of butter. You're going to melt it. So I am going to my fridge and grabbing the almighty sticks of butter. And yeah, you can melt it over the fire, but I'm nuking it in the microwave. It just works out faster. Just make sure you cover it with something. So, plate, butter right there. Preferable that it will cook better if you cut into just a few pieces. It'll just melt better. So there we go. And then we need more than that. So I have this. I went to Sam's to get butter and I was like, oh my gosh, so cheap. You know it comes in these giant blocks like this? Oh my god, it's so annoying. I like them in sticks and it comes in a giant 1-pound block of butter. Thank God I'm doing Christmas because I actually need to use a lot of butter. And I know how to measure things by eye, but it is not convenient. So I'm going to put that much in there. I'm going to cover that with a paper towel. And then we're going to nukeify it. Now, just about a minute in the microwave should get it there. So that while that's cooking, I'm going to put the rest of the butter. And the next thing you're going to do is you're going to butter your 13 by 9 by 2 pan, preferably with cooking spray. While that is happening, yeah, multitasking, baby, multitasking. While the butter is still cooking, we are going to get our giant cup and we are going to put our sifter in here. You're wondering, why am I doing this? Because I'm going to use that to catch my pineapple juice. Because you're like, why do you need pineapple juice? Because we're going to make the cake with the pineapple juice. Instead of water, we're a cake, we substitute pineapple juice and make it up with water. Adds so much flavor. There we go. So we're just going to drain the pineapples. Leave them in the can. We just want to drain them as much as possible. And you do need about 2 cans of pineapples. You may have a couple extra pineapples that don't fit the pan. All right, my butter is melted in the microwave. There we go. Uh-oh, piece of pineapple wants to go free. Free pineapple. I don't know what that voice was, but yeah. I get silly when I'm cooking for so long. All right, I'm just gonna move that to the side. Now, we'll grab a giant spoon. Where is my giant spoon? This is actually not the giant spoon I was looking for, but there's the giant spoon I was looking for. I just washed it. So this, why? Because that is for our brown sugar. The camera fell. There we go. Almost didn't realize it had turned angles by accident. All right, we're going to take our butter that is now melted. Ta-da. We're going to pour all of that right into the pan. Let's get the spatula, get all that buttery goodness out. All right, here's the fun part. We are going to take our spoon and we are going to toss brown sugar right here. Mix that brown sugar up. What are the measurements? It's on the box. I do it by eye until it looks good. So we're going to create a brown sugar coat, and you will use your hands to do this. This is not proper cooking. This is not genteel cooking. No, we are going to get our hands all up in this. Because it is good. You want brown sugar every corner because that is the base that will hold the pineapples, and it forms the crust of the top of the cake. That's why we buttered the side of the pans. We're actually going to butter it again because sugar kind of gets all over the place, so we're going to butter it again so the pan, it gets out of the pan. So you want enough sugar in here until it virtually dries up all of the butter. See how I'm patting it here? That's the mechanism that you use. You're going to pat, 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 pat. And then you'll fill holes. There you go. You can move things around. You can swirl it around, flip it, rub it. I don't know what that is. Flip it, rub it down. That's what, vanilla ice. Somebody cracked a joke recently with that. Because my sister from another Mr. Stephanie, she cracked like a dad joke. It was actually quite impressive. It was impressively bad. And yes, Stephanie, if you're hearing this, it was bad. All right, there we go. There we go. See, I'm using brown sugar to fill in any bits where there's just butter by itself. There we go. You just want all that butter swirling in. You want the brown sugar flat, so move your hand over it and just feel and smooth it out. There you go. Now that we have buttered our pan, other thing we need to do, preheat our oven to 350 degrees. The oven's still hot from the last time. Uh-oh, I have sharp caps hiding here. I'm just going to toss those into the garbage. The sharp caps of the pineapple cans. All right, wash your hands just a little bit because it's kind of gooey. Let this set for a second. And it's fine that there's a little film of butter, but you just want a film of brown sugar here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our pineapple slices. Oh, okay, this one's broken. Well, I might eat that one. Let's use this can. This can, they all seem to be good. I'm just going to layer our pineapple pieces. I like to do 3, so I will pinch them. I want to have 3 per row. That's just how I like to do it. You could do some staggered thing if you want. And so we're going to place our pineapple pieces in here. This is why you have to have 2 cans, because you will have leftover. And anyway, any of the liquid in the can, make sure you throw it into our strainer. Oh, goodness. There you And this almost would have made it. This is a larger can than normal. Well, because this is broken, I'm eating it. Why did I know I could eat it? Because all I need is 2 more pieces. What do you do with the rest of the pineapple? Find another use for it. The reality is I'm actually making a ham that will have pineapple all over it, so I am not stressing about having extra pineapple. There you go. So now you have your pineapples in here. What's the next step? Aha. Take your strainer. You might as well use that bowl that you had the oil in. And we are going to open a can of whoop cherries. No, you thought I was going to say something else. Yeah, we're going to add a can of maraschino cherries. So opening that requires, you just want to drain them. You do not want that juice at all. That's why the bowl is here. Just so you can do that. So I'm going to take the bowl out of the way. Bring our pineapple upside down cake back. And take that out because these cherries are good. You just wanted most of the liquid. You're just going to pick them up. Yeah, if some juice falls in. We're going to put cherries in the middle, in the center, and you want to press them through because you want to see them. And you actually want the bottom of the cherry opposite. So you actually want the pit facing you because you want to see the beautiful cherries and not the pits when you flip the cake around. So remember, the top of the stem is facing you. Mhm. And so you're going to do this. But we're not done. Because now that we've gotten the centers, we gotta get these little corner pieces too. All of them. Because that looks gorgeous when you do it right. And this is a step you do by eye. If you feel like you have enough cherries, so be it. You just want the center pieces. I really think it looks good to have the in-betweens done. And when I mean the in-betweens, I mean all the in-betweens. That includes these corners too. There you go. Your question, Company. Merry Christmas, Alex. And there we go. There we go. And get them in, all up in them nooks and crannies. Yes, I said nooks and crannies. There we go. Equidistant, and we are done. Remaining shares, if you want to put the juice back in, so be it. I really don't think it needs it. And now this important thing you got to do, butter the pan again. Cooking spray. All those edges, because you do not want to have issues bringing this pie out. There we go. All right. We are doing good. All righty. We're just gonna wipe all this maraschino cherry sauce that's on the side out. And we're gonna take this pan and we're just gonna put it in the fridge. It doesn't need to go in the fridge. I just like it out of the way. I like it when it's cooled and sets a little bit, but that's just the preference. You don't have to do that. You just put it to the side because now it is time to make some cake. So you want to have your pineapple upside down cake mix. And like I said, I normally get a Betty Crocker version, and I only could get this Hilton Pride version. Oh, good God, my computer got weird. Uh-oh, did my camera just turn off? It just, I don't know what just happened. Uh-oh, I don't know what just happened. Okay, here we go. Our other close-up only. There we go. Yeah, things were not responding. I don't know, something has happened. I'm gonna have to reconnect my remote. There we go. There we go. All right. My remote stopped working for a second. Sorry about that, but yes, this is the pineapple mix that we're going to use. Um, and so it requires 3 eggs. Um, oh, where's my, oh, oh, it's covered in M&Ms. All right, I'll use this. Need a mixer. So it says 3 eggs because I like it fluffy. We're going to add 3 eggs, but we are going to beat our eggs first. You could use egg beaters if you want to be healthy. That does. Um, just follow the direction on the back of the egg beaters because they tell you how many, like a quarter cup or a third of a cup is a single egg, and just follow the units that they put out there for you. Oh, really, I succeeded and only got a little piece of shell there. All right, there we go. So this thing says you need 1 cup of water. We will not add water. We will use pineapple juice instead of water. That's the difference. So I'm looking for my mixer. There you go. And so I'm looking for my mixer right here. And I'm gonna get that going. So here we go. By the way, before I do that, let's check that sauce, how it's going. Oh, it's glorious. Y'all can't see, but luckily I have a phone cam for that. Look at that. As the genie in Aladdin says, well, looky here. That is some sauce, baby. That is some sauce. I'm gonna lower that heat just a little bit. Yeah, it has about 20 more minutes to go. Again, keep pushing those cinnamon sticks down. So we're gonna keep that covered, put our portable camera down. And now we are going to whip these eggs until they're nice and fluffy. The fluffier you beat the eggs, now we're not talking about making a custard or a chiffon, I'm sorry, or a meringue. No, we just want it a little bit fluffier, no peaks. And once it's that fluffy, then you can add the other ingredients. So this cake mix calls for, this is the pineapple one, this calls for cake mix, it calls for 3 eggs, which we already have, and it calls for a third of a cup of oil. So we're just gonna toss that cake mix in there. Um, it says 1 cup of water. So remember I said the difference of this is we will not use water. We're going to use our handy dandy pineapple juice. And since I have so much of it, you're like, what are you going to do with the rest of it? Oh my gosh, that pineapple juice is going on that ham, baby. See, that's why I cook the way I do. I'm use things uh, work for other things. So, and then we're going to go get our canola oil. So a third of a cup of canola oil, and I'm eyeballing that. There we go. And then, because I know how this thing tastes, we're going to add just a little bit of brown sugar to it because we want that just a sweeter cake. 2 heaping spoons of brown sugar. That's it. And mixty, mixty, mixty. It says beat on low, so you can see what's happening. This is where the magic happens. And taste. Mmm. Oh yeah, baby. hmm It says beat it until it's well done. And so, right there. Awesome sauce. Woohoo! Alright, we are going to release our tines. And, you know, y'all don't judge me, but yes, the favorite thing is to lick the tines. Mm. As a kid, I used to do this. It would drive mom crazy. And then she just succumbed to it. hmm Oh my god, it's so good. Yes, it's raw batter. Don't judge me. hmm It's good stuff, baby. Good stuff. And so, um, now that we've done that, we are going to put up our mixer. And now it's just time to do the final things. Pour the batter. And we're done. So let me put that back on the close-up view. Nope, sorry, wrong view. Close-up. We're going to bring our pan out of our fridge. I think it was a little sideways, but it worked. It's going to be okay. This is our pineapple, as it is. And now we're going to pour all this cake batter all on top of it. And that's how you make a pineapple upside down cake. Just use a spatula and get every bit of that goodness out. Because you want every drop of that goodness. There you go. That's why we buttered the side of the pan so you don't have to worry about it now. And then you're going to give it a shake to level it off. And with that, it is time. We will switch to our phone view. It is time to put this in down the oven. So we're going to put it in 350 degrees. You notice, because it's cold, I can do this by hand, but there we go. Middle. And bake, bake, bake. I will set, let's see, the box says bake it for 32 minutes. So we're going to set our timer here for 32 minutes. And there we go. And away we go. Everybody, that was fun, wasn't it? Um, I'm looking at my sauce and it's thinner than I want it to be, so I'm going to add another can of paste and that will thicken it up. And so now we have our pineapple upside down cake in the oven. In 30 minutes that will be done. You let it set for a couple of minutes and then you flip it onto something. And y'all just reminded me I need to figure out what I'm going to put that cake on. All right, so you may be wondering what I'm doing. I am adding some sauce. I'm going to add a little bit of uh, I'm going to add a little bit of paste into this. So, you guys can see. There we go. Yeah, I like my sauce just a little bit thicker. There we go. Like I told you just before, it's just gonna sit here and simmer. Close to the end, I might add a little bit of parsley and some green peppers. You don't want to add your green peppers too soon, they cook, but I don't know if I'm gonna add green peppers. That's just kind of like, because I have already added poblano peppers in here. That's gonna add a flavor. Green peppers are really for the look, and they add a little bit of flavor to the sauce. But yeah, Bolognese sauce is slamming, baby. All right, we're going to get rid of a couple of things here to go back to where we need to be. So we're going to get rid of the brown sugar because we don't need it for the next thing. And so again, we have done another thing. So we get to mark something off of our list. We get to pineapple upside down cake. So the next thing that we're going to do is our turned up, our M&M cookie cake. This is a recipe I just saw online, and I just thought it was the coolest thing. It's actually 3 ingredients. It's a whole lot of M&Ms. It is 2 eggs. I know, I already have 2 eggs already ready to go. And cake mix. I know, it's kind of crazy. But you don't make a cake mix, you just want normal yellow cake mix. So let's see, where is that cake mix? Where did it? Oh, there it is, super moist. There we go. I just have normal yellow cake mix here. Oh, okay, let's put this back on the down cam so you guys can see what's going on. So let's see. Looks like my husband's back from church. Let me say hi to him. I'm gonna. Uh-oh. Oh. 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 Camera's falling down. There we go. I'll be right back. All right, y'all, I'm back. Sorry, I had to go say hi to my husband. And so we're going to make this M&M cookie cake. So again, 2 eggs. We're going to beat them. Uh, yes, I do not know who Plastic Skull is, but thank you for that. I appreciate it. Um, and woohoo! Um, Here we go. And so we're gonna, I was just making sure because I got to get it to my, menu streamer. I got to get the system so that I can see everything. All the chats kind of have to check multiple things. We're just gonna do the close-up view right now. Where is that hiding? Here we go. So, and so what we're going to do is we're going to add the eggs straight into the mix. I know, it's crazy, right? We're going to add, this one asks for a half a cup of vegetable oil. You just don't add the other liquid. That's it. And I actually think it needs, because this recipe calls for 3 eggs, but the lady who taught me this called for 2. And I'm wondering if that's because her cake mix required 2 eggs. But we'll see. Because I know the consistency this is supposed to look like. So that's what I'm going after. And again, yes, this is a giant bag of M&Ms, and we're going to mix the oil in that. And then the next thing we're going to do, I know it's crazy, we are going to add, again, I have just standard um, cake mix. That's it. Yellow cake mix. I'm sure you could use chocolate if you wanted, but this is going to make like a normal cookie. But it's not a cookie, it's a cookie cake. You guys have seen those before. An M&M cookie cake is what we're making right now. And you're just going to mix it, and you do not use your mixer. This has to be done by hand until it comes together. Yep. And it looks like cookie dough. Oh my God, this is heavy to turn. Yeah, I think it needs just a little more egg. This is where having egg beaters in the house comes in handy. Just needed a little bit more. Because I think her recipe, when she showed it online, I learned this from an online YouTuber. I actually don't know her name. I'm gonna find that. I'm just gonna add just a little bit more egg because it is too thick. Yeah, that's doing it. Because it needs to be thick like cookie dough, but not too much. Because we are making a cookie. Yeah, there we go. You don't want it like a cake. There you go. And you don't want to work it too much. That's where it needs to be. All right, that's all this is. And then the next thing you do is, oh, I don't know why my scissors are still here, is you get a spring form pan. It's the stuff you make cheesecake. Cut a piece of parchment paper and put it at the bottom. I am going to butter the sides, so we want this to easily separate from the springform pan. Parchment paper is to help it come off. I just bought this springform pan from Walmart. It's actually for 10 bucks. Thing came out nice because it's actually two pans in one. You can actually do springform, or it has this attachment that turns it into a bundt cake. So if you want to make a bundt cake, you can kind of do both of these at the same time. All right, and this is all you have to do is put this cookiness, cookie cakeness down into the pan. hmm I know, it's kind of crazy. It's so thick and viscous. And no, y'all, I've never made this recipe before. I just learned about it on YouTube on Monday, and I was like, you know what? This looks like something I want to give it a try. I'll have those who are coming here tomorrow let me know what they think. It is so thick, it's so hard to get out of the bowl because there's so much of it left in the bowl. Having to use my fingers to get it out. But it does spread. There we go. So we're just going to spread it so that it's even. Oh, yeah, this is looking a lot like what I saw on YouTube. I'm tasting the batter. It's pretty neat. Once you get it even, let's get all of it in there. Once you get it even, you top it with even more M&Ms. Yes. As we say, yas. So my bag of M&Ms right here. Yep. This is going to be so good. It looks so good on YouTube. It was like the most awesome thing ever. Just getting in things in there. There we go. And M&Ms with an M&M chaser. There we go. That's it. 3 ingredients. I know. Isn't it crazy? Our M&M cookie cake. And I'm trying to seal my M&M container, and it is being quite stubborn. There we go. I'm probably going to put that in a Ziploc. So let's take that phone cam. And so this is what our cookie cake looks like. So we are going to open our oven. It's already at 350 degrees. As you can see, the pineapple upside down cake is cooking. Putting that right there. Takes about 20 minutes. It's as long as the cookie says. It says 25 minutes. So that's that. That is that. Um, tis good. So this is excellent. So our next thing to do is to make paella. I just don't know if I have enough time because I need to get ready for us to leave for Mass. The reality is, yes, I do have enough time. So just need to clean up just a little bit. get our cans and sugar and other things out of the way. Put things to soak in the sink because you can't wash them because that cookie is so thick. I actually can't wash it. Okay, let's check our sauce really quick. Okay, I just need to know where my husband is because I need his help to find another place for this because this is gonna move. We're gonna move the sauce to another burner. We can simmer in peace and quiet whilst we start doing some choppity chopping. So we are making paella mixta, which is a mix of chicken and seafood. That's how the Spanish call it. And so we need to chop up our chicken and a couple of other ingredients ahead of time, because again, it's all about the prep. I'm just getting my containers ready so that it can rock and roll, baby. All right, so we are. All right. Yes, it is all M&Ms, baby. You get to eat that, Lauren. Okay, so we are going to get our chicken and our chorizo. Where are you hiding? There you are. Our other chorizo. Two types in this. Papaya mixta. The stuff you see in the sink from afar, that's all the seafood that's been defrosting all this time. So I'm using, uh, hold on, I'll be right back. All right, you guys, sorry about that. My mom decided to come down. Anyway, I was trying to adjust, failed to reconnect. That is, my little remote is being weird, so we're just gonna have to kill the app. Connection could not be established. Oh my gosh. Uh, that means I'm gonna have to reboot my phone. I'm gonna have to reboot my phone so while I work the what's going on here, because I don't quite know when my phone is acting up. I'm using my phone as a switcher and it's just being annoying right now. I think that's what phones do from time to time. All right, so our first step is that we are going to chop up some of this, and so what we're going to do is we're going to cut the chicken into not too small chunks, relatively large chunks. We're just going to mix throughout the mixta. I'm just going to put that in the bowl. Yeah, you can keep a little bit of fat. Yep. And yep. Mm, And we're just chopping up a little bit of chicken. I'm going to use about maybe 6 to 8. Yeah, I'm going to do 8 pieces. It's a lot of people because the paella pan is huge. About this, it's not a true paella pan, but it's a giant pan that would work perfectly for paella. So we're going to add 2 more pieces of chicken. We have our shrimp defrosting in the sink. We're good to go. And so, yep, just cutting a couple of pieces more of chicken. There we go. This is all good. Next thing, well, we'll do that. Actually, we'll do it now. Is that we fully coat our chicken in paprika, preferably smoked paprika. Well, preferably Spanish paprika, as Helena, my Spanish teacher, would say. And you do that in paprika and olive oil. A mix of paprika and olive oil all over your chicken. I'm going to need to fill my olive oil tomorrow. I've used a lot of it today. Ah, it's so cold. I'm going to get all into the nooks and crannies. Don't be shy with the paprika. Get them all, and don't be shy with the olive oil. Extra virgin, baby. Nothing less. Extra virgin olive oil. EVOO. Good stuff. All right. Let's make sure your chicken is fully coated. All right. That's good. I'm gonna wash your hands because paprika kind of stains. So put that to the side. Keep your paprika out. The next thing we're going to cut is the other chorizo, which is just regular. I have sort of a Cajun sausage that I normally use to make gumbo with. As you guys can see. And I have another sausage that I'm going to use too. Eddie's sausage. Want about that much. I'm doing the first because it has a lot of flavor. Um, it's this smoky New Orleans flavor. I'm going to wash this a little bit because it's so cold. There we go. And so what we want is, what shape? Yeah, I think I want them in halves. Yeah, I think that's going to look best in the paella, is in halves. You could do quarters, but I think halves is going to look the best. I don't want them too small. There you go. There you go. All right. Then the last two things we're going to need are an onion and a pepper. We're going to use a poblano pepper, non-roasted. Give it a nice light kick. There we go. I should have probably cut these on a diaz like that, but hindsight's 2020. There we go. So that is our, this is our other chorizo. Then we have this chorizo that we're going to use just a little smidgen of it for its fat and its paprika flavor. You're actually supposed to cover this in olive oil as well, so I'll do that right now. Olive oil and paprika. Once this one is lighter because of the fat that's in here, I don't want to add too much. There's a lot of fat in sausage, so light dusting. All right, that's it. Don't be. Wash your hands and get the rest of that chicken in the fridge. All right. Yeah, I'm putting my chicken back into the fridge. All right. Now, oh, forgot my poblano pepper. And these, I have a second fridge for those of you wondering where I'm going off camera. Alright, because we're now going to chop up this poblano pepper. Yeah, we just want these in little bite-sized pieces. Nice rough chop. And no, you do not want the seeds. So we're just gonna the seeds, the skin, and the capsaicin vein. This little vein here too. Not too well. Just get rid of all those seeds. There we go. And we're gonna cut the capsaicin vein. There we go. And probably it's too smaller than I wanted it to be. You could use green peppers, but I'm using poblanos because I think this is going to give it just, paella is not supposed to be hot, but I think it's not even a kick. I want I want kick adjacent, if you know what I mean. I think my phone has finally rebooted. Hopefully it can get my controller working again. Let's see. So my timer just went off for the pineapple upside down cake and it is not done. I'm looking at it and it's quite liquid in there. I switched my oven to convection. You just gotta keep cooking it until it's done. All right. No, we will not douse this in paprika. We just need to set it to the side because we're just gonna cook, cook, cook. And then the last thing we need is one onion. And because I have an enormous onion, this was an enormous onion. I'd cut half of it because half of it is like one normal onion. So I cooked something else a couple of days ago and I'd saved this one in the fridge. So I'm gonna peel that outside. And I'm gonna just, yeah, not too finely diced, but you know. It's a rough chop. This one, a nice, yeah, just nice dicing. There we go. And there we go. Away we go. All right. Now we grab our gigantic paella pan. Normally make a shrimp dish with this, but this is our paella pan. Uh-huh, right there. Huge, isn't it? I'm stirring. Let's see. Let's see if my Streamlabs controller is working again. This looks like my controller is not going to be working. So I'm going to have to switch this every time by going to the computer. So, I have my scenes here, but there's all this stuff. There we go. There we go. You guys can kind of see what's going on. So this is the sauce right now. It is doing wonderful. It's doing gangbusters. So yeah, it's time to take this cranberry sauce out. So just do that view now. So the other thing we need is we need some garlic. And I have a garlic chopper here. I do not like to chop garlic myself. Let's see, where is my garlic? Oh, did I leave that out? Yes, I did. Yeah, I am getting tired. Got 3 or 4 cloves, 4 or 5. As I told you with Italian food, no different than Spanish when I cook it. There's no such thing as too much garlic. And we're just gonna put that in here. And have that ready to go. Perfect. Tis good. So the first thing we're going to fry up is our chicken. Lightly fry. So I've turned on my heat. I'm going in and checking on my cookie and the cake. They are doing splendiferously. They just need extra time. I also realized I'm going to need a can of petite diced tomatoes drained. Waiting for that oil to get up in there. Oh, yeah, I also forgot you need to throw some salt and pepper. Into the chicken. And so I got the salt and pepper. I'm just going to do it right here where it's easy to get to. What? Yeah, you're not on camera. My husband's just like, he doesn't want to be on camera. He's freaked out and like, he's all dressed too. What's the issue? Yes, I told you you're not on camera. Good God, can't hear either. Oh, goodness. He's asking, he's like, he wants to know if he can do stuff and he's not on camera. It's like, nope, you're not. It's only this camera it's on. All right, this is there. We're going to mix this and put this in to the oil. I'm just going to leave this here because we are going to collect it. Oh, this is good stuff. And what we're doing is we don't want it to fully cook. We just want it to brown a little bit, cook lightly, because it's going to cook in the broth. Because you're going to put some rice in here. Yeah, the more and more I'm looking at it, I don't think I'm going to do the other chorizo. I'm just going to do the regular sausage. Uh, yep, this is the... Normally if you had a giant paella pan and this wasn't so hot, you would just move the stuff and cook things in the center, kind of like how the Chinese do wok cooking. You put things to the side and the hottest part is in the center, but no, this is evenly spread, so we have to take everything out. That's right about now. We're just gonna scoop everything up and put it back in the bowl. And you're like, well, there was raw chicken there. Yeah, but that's because we're about to cook. We're gonna cook this chicken for 40 minutes in broth, so don't worry about it. Just reusing, so I don't have to make too much of a mess. And it's trying to leave the oil in there because we're going to fry the sausage in that oil. Seems the chicken has started releasing a lot of liquid. How much liquid? Oh yeah, there's a lot in there. And get some of that oil back. A lot of oil I scooped up. Oh, don't worry, it's needed because we're going to be frying other things in it. And that's oil and liquid, so I'm going to let that boil off. Oh, it's pretty much boiled off, so we're going to toss our sausage in. Just letting the sausage cook a little bit and it's releasing its oils. Because then what we're going to do is we will fry up the onions, garlic. I have a choice because I need to make a sofrito, which is where um, yeah, you know what? We're going to do it that way. You fry the tomatoes in. Indians do this. Indian recipes have this kind of idea of a mini sofrito in there. But sofrito is tomatoes that we're going to sort of mush into paste. Oh yeah. again, we don't want the sausage to be done. We want it to release its oils, and then light cooking on the side, so it's just a nice tinge. And then we're gonna separate it like we did the chicken. Now it's done. And now it's time for the sofrito. Yeah, we're just pouring some of the oil back in. We're getting a couple of pieces of sausage back into the oil, but it's okay. No price to pay. I just want as much oil as I can get without adding more oil. All right, now we're going to take a can of tomatoes drained, fully drained. Or you can use a fresh one. You don't want any of the skins in there. And you're going to add it to the oil. And this is how we are going to make our sofrito. As you can see, sausage, das is good. I know, I'm feeling really German today. And as you are cooking this, this is turning turning the tomatoes into a paste. This way of doing stuff, they call it sofrito. We do this in Nigeria when I make something called Nigerian stew. I actually fry tomatoes and onions. And so it seems that a lot of kinds of cooking are similar. Some Indian dishes, especially Eastern Indian dishes, I believe, have this same kind of concept. I'm sorry, Western Indian dishes, not East, West. No, Eastern, that's right, close to Bangladesh, not Pakistan. So, like, not Goa, the opposite side. Uh, a lot of them have this kind of base kind of thing. My part of Nigeria, where I'm from, we have this as well when we fry tomatoes. So you're gonna cook this until it's done, and as you're cooking it, again, these are petite diced tomatoes. You are breaking them up, all in the oil. Let's see if there are any questions from anybody. Uh, Lauren, you're invested in this food? That's awesome. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, this act again, tomatoes and oil. This is in Spain. This is called a sofrito. Making sofrito, and it's the base of a lot of kinds of dishes. So again, we want the tomatoes to fully cook, and then I'm gonna add once they're fully cooked. And as you're, stirring them, I'm actually mashing them down. And I have this on ultra high heat. You might as well call it nuke. Mm-hmm. I don't know if my remote will ever come back. Let's see if I can reconnect my remote manually. Okay, well, let's see if we can do this again. Oh, there we go. It's back. Yay! I had to take the armband off. Let's see, can I switch? Yay! It's working again. Hi, everybody. I don't know what was up with my remote. This phone just kind of, yeah, it's an old phone. So anyway, close-up view again. Yeah, this is caramelizing nicely. Almost done. There we go. All right, we're almost there. Yeah, we're there. So we will add our onions. And as soon as that cooks just a little bit, we will add our garlic. Mince your garlic, add that in. Now second, we're going to add our peppers. Again, I have this fire on, I like to call it nuke, because I'm a little bit in a hurry. There we go. Yeah, it is cooking nicely. All right, it's time for me to grab my rice. Okay, normally you use your short-grained rice for like almost an arborio rice. The rice that they make in Spain is called bombas. Very similar, bombas. I think it's spelled the same as the socks that you wear, that they sell, bombas. Bombas is how they say it. Um, but we are not doing bombas because we could not find bombas, and you know what? I actually don't like sticky in my paella, so I'm bucking the system. I'm actually using a long grain rice. Aha, take that. All right, so now that that's done, we're gonna deglaze with wine. You could use a white or a red wine, doesn't matter. A red wine will make your paella a little darker. And your rice is gonna absorb all the flavors, so I'm actually emptying this bottle of wine that I have, but I have another one. I hope I do, because Mom might kill me if I don't. Yeah, Mom loves that Moscato. I have a whole nother bottle. There we go. So now it is time to add the rice. You should measure, but I'm eyeballing this because I know what I want. Yeah, I'm adding a lot of rice and I need to add salt because I didn't salt this, but we're going to use seasoned salt. As you can see, the rice has already absorbed the wine. So now it's time to add our chicken stock. I prefer stock instead of broth for this. Trying to get my stock. The ratio of stock liquids to rice is 4-1. But before we add more, we have a whole lot of another liquid. We're going to add our saffron. So you take saffron there, and saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. I have been infusing this for 3 hours now. I'm going to pour all that in. Saffron has a beautiful flavor. You want every last bit of that juice because that saffron is the most expensive spice in the world. I actually found a good dealer that gets me 3 ounces of this for $12 on Amazon. This is Middle Eastern saffron as opposed to Spanish saffron. I would not use Mexican saffron. That's a very weak flavored saffron, and you really need to use Spanish or Middle Eastern Persian saffron. These are the best kinds. And so we're just going to add water. Let it boil. And at some point we will add our chicken back into so it boils with the meat, but not quite yet. And it's at this point you want to taste the liquid. Make sure that the seasoning is right. That's great. This needs a little bit more salt. I can taste the kick from the poblanos. It's a light kick, as I thought it would be. We're going to need all this liquid. There we go. Alright, that's good. First I'm going to get all the liquid from the chicken. I think I might do this in 2 batches. Add the chicken. And the sausage. Because the last thing we're going to add is seafood. I have shrimps and stuff like that, but they come in where it's close to being done. That's it. Alright, our cake is done in the oven. And so is our cookie cake. Cookie cake done? Yeah, it's done. You guys, oh no, our cake is not done. The pineapple upside down cake is still not done. Let's change it to bacon 350. It's done at the top, but I'm going to turn it on at the bottom. time tasting it. Actually needs seasoned salt. This needs a little bit more flavor, and I'm gonna add a little bit of pollo mix. What is that? That was powdered chicken bouillon. Balance out some of the flavors in that sausage. I'm going to add the rest of this water, aka chicken broth. And add just a hair more rice. Add all of it. Just a little bit of black pepper, and we're good. And that's that. It's just gonna cook and steam. And we are good. So I'm gonna bid you guys adieu because I gotta go take a shower. But literally, this is just gonna cook here and simmer. Now that it's where it is, as a matter of fact, I will give you guys another shot, camera shot. There you go. There's a camera shot. This is what the paella is gonna look like. And so right now, where it's at, I will add more water, but I'm being daring because the paella is going to come all the way up to the end, and so I'm going to add a lot more broth. But the key is at this point that you need to taste it and make sure that it is the flavors you like, because once it gets past here, it's not going to, you're not going to like what happens afterwards. And so I'm going to add just strangely, it needs a little bit more paprika. There you go. Because while it still has the liquid, you can mix things, you can season it, you can add some more salt, things like that. That's pretty much it. Then I'm going to turn the fire down so it can cook. I will add some more liquid. Remember, it's 4-to-1 to rice, 4x the rice. Measurements of your rice. So if you add 1 cup of water, 4 cups of, if you have 1 cup of rice, 4 cups of water. And it's, in this case, the water is chicken stock. Again, this is the chicken stock I was using. I've already put a whole box, which is 4 cups. Maybe 6 cups. I think it's 4 cups in one of these boxes. It is 32 ounces. Yeah, 8 ounces are in a cup. So 4 cups already. So we're going to turn the fire down. We're going to add some more. So that's where we're at. All right, everybody. I love you guys. Merry Christmas. I'll stream some more tomorrow. Take care.